everyone, Nello from MaxSpeedMotorsports.com here. Today I just want to talk about the SRT Hellcat Challenger. I guess other models will use the same power steering pump as well. We had a customer here that had an issue, especially when the car was warm. The steering wheel would lock completely. I mean, really locked to the point where you needed 3 guys to turn the steering wheel left or right. So I got the car in and pretty much did a diagnostic. First thing I did is obviously verified for any leaks or any that kind of stuff. The power steering pump was full of oil, so I figured there was no leak. But the verifying for leaks, of course you're going to do that. Second step was I pulled out the fluid, and basically I noticed the fluid was pretty dark. You see the tint of red there, but pretty dark. However, no metal fragments or any of that stuff, which pretty much led me to believe the rack and pinion was in good shape. I figured that if I did find some metallic particles in there or some kind of stuff in there, it would lead me to push for further diagnostic as far as the rack and pinion. However, the internals of the pump might have dissolved or disintegrated if I would have found anything in the oil. So very difficult to do a diagnostic to see what exactly is wrong. However, like I said, pulled out the fluid, made sure that the fluid was in normal condition, didn't smell burnt or anything like that, which it didn't. So I disconnected the power steering lines, added on the lift, and manually turned the steering wheel, and it wasn't locking. It was normal operation, so I figured the pump was at fault here. So basically it would give no assistance when the car was running. So the pump comes off pretty easy on these models. Basically 3 8mm bolts for the top air filter. With this connector you need to disconnect and pretty much pull out this hose from the elbow here, from the air intake hose, the rubber hose here. You just pull that up and it comes off. Loosen up this 8mm bolt, and basically the top cover comes off. And what you want to do next is pull out this 8mm bolt for the bottom cover. That's going to come off as well, pretty easy, and you have full access to the power steering pump, which is right over here. And of course, just loosen up the belt tensioner to pull out the belt. You can do that with a 3/8" ratchet, and the belt will come off. And pretty much 3 bolts that secure this pump in place. Let me show you guys. 1, 2, and the third one is right there, 3. And this pump will come off. You may want to use, prior to removing the pump, some kind of little pump, those cooking pumps there. I can't recall the name. You want to suck out the fluid the most you can, or if you don't suck it out, what you do is that once you pull out that air box, there's a hose that is clamped on this fitting right here. What you do is you use a container like this one, which is flexible. You just put it underneath and you let the drain fluid before you remove the pump completely. So once you remove those 3 13mm bolts, you have one hose that is clamped on and one that is screwed on. Both come off and your pump will come off. And the installation is the reverse, of course. Fairly simple for any do-it-yourself type of guy, or any technician will do this in an hour or so. So if your steering does lock, chances are it's your power steering pump, especially on a recent model like this one, which is a 2017 with very low mileage. I guess these have issues with the pumps, as I've seen a couple of threads online on the forums talking about power steering issues. So there you go. If you have an issue, most probably it's your power steering pump. Again, do a good diagnostic, check your fluid, raise the car and turn the wheels manually and see if you have any resistance. If you don't have any resistance, chances are it's your power steering pump. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.